You've seen the news. Interest rates are up. Home values are questionable. There's a lot more houses for sale. Instead of being sold within hours, some properties are remaining on the market for days, weeks, even months. What's going to happen with home inventories and prices? Well, the problem is home values and home inventories are kind of trapped. The real estate market has been painted into a corner by a very unique set of events that have happened over the last 3-4 years. It may seem like with more houses coming on the market and interest rates higher, that home values are going to crash. We've seen articles saying it's going to crater, it's going to drop. It's going to be a crisis like 2008, the crash of real estate. Here's why values may be trapped. First of all, builders for the last 10 years have been very cautious on building new homes. Most of them were burned in the crash of 2008 and 9. Many builders and real estate investors and flippers lost everything in some cases, if not barely made it out alive financially in 2008 and 9. So by the time they started even having the ability to do something with real estate, 2012, 13, maybe 14, they were very cautious, very kind of, scared about doing anything. So now they spend maybe 5 years tentatively getting into the market. They see this big boom, and all of a sudden, boom, it crashes again. And by crashes, I mean buyers. Prices are unknown, but buyers. So now they pull back again. Builders are shutting off new construction. Developers are stopping, sometimes right in mid-build, new home construction. Well, the other factor that people aren't seeing is there's still a shortage of homes. Part of what created the spike in real estate prices from 2020 and 21 into 22 is that there weren't enough houses to go around. Everybody needs a roof over their head. And a house or an apartment or rental is something everybody needs. Some percentage of the people want to buy a house. That percentage of people that want to buy a house stays pretty much the same. Sometimes it goes up a little bit, sometimes it goes down, but the percentage of people who want to own a house stays about the same. It's about 60% to 70% of people want to own a home. Now, not everybody who wants to own a home buys a house because sometimes people can't afford it, you don't have credit, you can't find a house, you don't have a job, not qualified for a mortgage, whatever. But that's the percentage who want to buy a house. So as the number of people that are requiring housing goes up every year, new people are born, they become adults, there's immigration, there's new households formed. The number and volume of residents in the United States goes up every year. So the number of people who want to buy a house goes up every year. Well, the number of new homes being produced is not going up to match that increase. The estimate right now is about 5 million houses short of what the market needs. And that trickles down. The home buyers can't buy a house, so they rent. Those home buyers who are renting push out people who are barely renting, and then that's why you have a lot more homeless. So it shuffles it downstream. If you have builders in 2022 who are all suddenly shutting off the tap of building new houses, what is that going to do for 2023, 24, 25 for inventory? There's even going to be less inventory. We were just starting to get the building volume cranked up to where it could satisfy the demand of new homes. Forget about what you think about pricing. Are they too high, too low? The bottom line is that everybody needs a box to live in. We all need 4 walls and a roof to live in. And if builders aren't building them, whether they cost $10 million or $10,000, that's one less box for somebody to live in. If the prices go down, okay, that might be good for some buyers, but it's not good for the market, because if the prices go down below what it costs for a builder to build a house, they're not going to build a house. That's one less box for somebody to live in. There's no alternative to it. We can talk about community housing or government housing, that's fine. Doesn't exist right now. And even if it did, you still have to have a builder that builds it. So the market's painted itself into a corner. Interest rates have gone up. That scares people away. That scares builders. The prices have gone up, which means less people who want to buy a house can actually get into that club of homeowners. And some of those people who want to be homeowners gets pushed down into the rental market. Multifamily homes, apartment complexes. That pushes out people who would be renters. Think about it. Look at these apartment complexes that used to have rents of $1,400, $1,500. And all of a sudden they see there's all these potential homeowners that are willing to spend $2,000 or $3,000 to buy a house that can't find a house to buy. So now they're forced to rent an apartment. Well, wait a minute. Instead of $1,400 or $1,500, even if we jack up the rent to $2,000, one of these homeowners, wannabe homeowners, who is going to buy a house for $400,000 that can't find one or can't afford one, they'll rent our apartment for $2,000. So let's put the rate there. Now the person who's spending $1,400 or $1,500, their lease is not renewed. Where are they going to live? They're not going to find anything for $1,400, $1,500. They're not going to find anything for less. So they maybe move in with another family. They move in with their own family. Maybe they're homeless, right? You can see where this shuffles down. The solution to this is obviously having more residential units, whether it's in a house, an apartment, an ADU, or something. Housing prices going down is not going to make more units be produced. House prices going up will produce more houses because the builder can afford to build more homes. And you might say, well, the builder's just ripping people off. You got to remember, builders, every time they build a house, before they even put one piece of shovel into the ground or nail one board, in many parts of the country have $150,000, $200,000 worth of expense already into that property, between buying the property, permits, approvals, zoning, floor plans, right? Some communities have impact fees you have to pay. Some parts of California, not even counting the land, it costs $250,000 just to get a housing unit approved before you buy one piece of lumber, before you buy the land. So there's a lot of expense that goes into this. Having the prices higher helps more builders get more homes built, unless there's some subsidy coming from the government, which, that's a whole nother subject. So this housing market is kind of trapped. It can't go up anymore because people can't afford it. The median price is $400,000, but in most parts of the country, unless you're spending $500 or $600, you're really not going to get much that's any good. $500,000 or $600,000 is at the upper limit of what a lot of people can afford. At 6% mortgage, at $600,000, you're spending $3,500, $3,800 for mortgage. That's borderline. A lot of people can afford it, but that takes a lot of chunk of your income. You can't really go down because you can't build a house for less than that. Think about it. If you build a house if it costs $200 per square foot, you build a 2,000 square foot house, that's $400,000 for construction. You're going to buy a lot for $100,000, and you're going to spend $100,000 in impact fees and site work and everything else. There's $600,000 in cost. Where's your profit? If you're a builder and you say, well, I'm going to spend $600,000 to build this house, and I'm going to sell it for $600,000, I did all that work for nothing. I did it for free, basically. So you can't really go down. Plus, you can't go down because people who are selling homes have no reason to sell a house for less than that because they have a low mortgage. Most people that are out there have a 3% mortgage, maybe 4% at the upside. So if they sell their house even for $600,000 or $650,000, they have to buy another house and now pay a 6% mortgage. So why do that? Housing market's trapped. Can't go up, can't go down. There's no more houses being built. The real crisis is going to be in 2025 or 26 when there's even fewer homes available and even more people that want them. What's going to happen is the prices will go up even again. Between now and 2025, let's say 3 years from now, 2.5 years, prices may stay the same. They may blip a little bit down. They may blop a little bit up. They're going to stay roughly the same as what they are. You may see discounts on houses. That doesn't mean the market is lower. That means that one house is lower. But by 2025, it's very likely that the value of homes will go up another 15 to 20% beyond what it is today. So if the median price is $400,000 today, or I think it's exactly $416,000, mark my words, 2025, the median price will be $500,000, $500,000 to buy a house at the middle of the decade. And the interest rates will be a little bit higher, probably 7%. That means that your mortgage payment on a median house is going to be $3,500. On a take-home basis, that means $100,000 a year income is going to put you at, roughly 50% of your income take-home goes to your home price. Is it a bad thing to do? Well, it's a big chunk. In the long run, it's good because when you pay off your mortgage, now it goes to zero. If you pay $3,000 on rent in 30, 40 years, you're still paying $3,000 on rent. You didn't pay off your mortgage. So there's a lot going on. Tell us what you think in the comments and what you see in your area of the country as far as real estate.